It's time for Ed's Funhouse. It's time for Eddie's Funhouse. Eddie's Funhouse is a fun house of the mind. See if I can adjust this table. I'm on not so level ground. The ground is not so level. I hope everyone has brought some snacks. Most of the time I'm the only one snacking. It would bring me such joy and cheer if 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 the viewers were snacking together with me, were snacking with me at the simultaneously. As I prophesied by Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola has been a drink since World War One, since the First World War. I'm going to see how it does today, how things go today, because yesterday was Saturday, and I didn't have very many attendees. I had a few people, some people from Denmark, someone from Saudi Arabia, and somebody from Canada. One of my guys are in Ireland right now, hanging with their family, with their fam. They're meeting with their fam. Today I'm snacking on more party mix. Put in the comments what you're snacking on. If you seem to see this show after the pre-recorded version. I feel quite rested today. I had a very weird alternate universe experience today. There was a lapse in reality that I experienced. It was like my mother was experiencing one reality. I was experiencing another reality. It was just very unsettling, very strange. Because it kind of reads like those Reddit stories, or those stories of alternate universes. People sometimes pop in and out of an alternate universe. The universe I was in, my mother and I pulled into the supermarket parking lot, and I said, I'm going to go get a cart, because sometimes I go get a cart. Merry Christmas! Welcome! It's the Christmas Eve special. I was talking about my alternate universe experience today. And I told my mom, I'm going to go get a cart for you because she needs one of those special carts that you ride that disabled people ride around in. She has trouble walking, and I just went into the store thinking I had already done that. Something in the North Atlantic Ocean. Is it showing up on the news? A lot of times things don't always show up on the news. What were all those numbers about? Are those coordinates for the location? I'm just receiving that. Oh, coordinates, yeah. I thought so. Indeed. Yeah, it'll be interesting if they report that. There's something strange going on. They don't always report it. I hear a lot of angry birds behind me. I wonder how common that is. I hear a lot of stories about alternate universes or going down a trail and they have a house on the trail and then they go back to the same trail and the house isn't there. The people they talk to aren't there. Or they drive down a road and the road takes them into a strange town with strange people, with strange looks on their faces. And they turn around and go back, and they never go back to that location again. I've been playing a game about guessing what people are thinking, and sometimes I get it right. And it seems like it's a gift that I need to exercise. So I'm back to 0 now. I thought I was chatting with someone. So what is this thing that they have found? It said it was in the Antarctic. Let me see what it says there again. Something. I suspect there might be something. Oh, North Atlantic Ocean. I wonder what it is. There's been a lot of sightings of UFOs going down into the water, into the ocean. They did a whole documentary about it. Oh, it's an animal. There have been a lot of people who have talked about Loch Ness, the Loch Ness monster. Also the Mothman. People say they've seen the Mothman. Sometimes even werewolves. There's a lot of interesting sightings that people see. Bigfoot. There's some Bigfoot footage also. Bigfoot's carrying their young. And then there's the Greys. I keep hearing about the Greys. There are these creatures, they're alien life forms. There's a show called Travis in my movie playlist. If you look in the description is Ed's movie playlist. And I think I'll have to scroll all the way to the bottom, but it's a show called Travis about a guy who was abducted by alien life forms. I also have some Christmas shows. If you feel like watching Christmas shows, one of them is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Another one is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, made by Jim Henson. Jim Henson helped make Labyrinth, the movie Labyrinth, with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. They were big name stars in the 80s. I remember singing that song on the school bus. You remind me of a babe. What babe? A babe with the power. The power of voodoo. So is everyone outside? Is everyone else snacking as well? I try to make this a get together, while we all wear funny hats and eat snacks and talk about sightings. I've seen a lot of footage, especially slapped ham on YouTube. Those slapped ham videos where you see all these creatures, mysterious like shadow monster or shadow creatures. And you're back. Welcome back. It's good to know that I'm not alone today. Yesterday I was feeling kind of lonely. That's all right. At least you're thinking of me, you know. I'm not like that tree that falls in the forest. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't make a sound. If you miss these, I always like to save in my archives. I think you just click on live and you'll be able to see my list. I have a long list of pre-recorded. That's what's neat about these is if you miss one, you can always go through the list of pre-recorded or Titans. I think that's where they get the word Titanic. Anything describing something very large is Titanic. And Titans were the first. For example, what was the name? Uranus and Gaia were the first two Titans. They were like the fathers and mothers of the Olympians. If I read that right, let me see if I read that right. How big are the Titans? Yeah, Titans. Yeah. It's interesting how it's always like the story goes with Uranus. Kronos had to kill Uranus, and then Zeus had to kill Kronos. And then after Zeus killed Kronos, he became the king of the gods, or the leader of the gods. And then I guess it was Ares. Ares, I guess, took over. It was interesting because Typhon was a creature. I forget what the mother of Typhon was, but Typhon took over Olympus for a while. And then all the Olympians got together and helped Zeus recover and regain his power. And that's what I like about Athena. Athena stuck with Zeus. All the other gods had fled because they were afraid of Typhon, I guess. Typhon was a badass monster. And yeah, Athena stuck with Zeus and defended Olympus. And then later on, the other Olympians started gaining courage and came back and restored Olympus. I don't remember the mother of Typhon. I usually remember stuff like that. And then there's Colossus. There was a statue of Colossus. I think that still stands today. They always use the word colossal, meaning something huge. That was colossal. And then there was a story of, who was that guy's name? Atlas. Atlas was a very strong Titan. What's interesting is some of the Titans actually helped Zeus. Hecate was one who was a Titan, and she helped Zeus. And then Prometheus was a Titan also. Prometheus went through a lot of punishment because he wanted to help mankind. But Hercules, if you listen to all the stories of Hercules, Hercules did a lot of, they call them Herculean tasks. He defeated the Hydra, the stag, the lion. Oh, the funniest thing I remember, when I would get the giggles in class, I'd just be sitting in class and I would think of something and it would make me laugh. And I would just keep giggling and no one would know why I'm laughing or what I'm laughing at. And it would just be something silly. And it was just these thoughts that I would get. I'd be sitting like in elementary school, middle school, and I would just sit in class and I just couldn't stop laughing. They call it the giggles. Some people get it, like actors when they're trying to do a movie, they're trying to film a scene and they just get the giggles. Sometimes it's videos. Videos are the funniest things I've seen. How you doing, buddy? Awkward Jackal is in the hizzy. So I think I got three people that I'm chatting with today. Every time is snack time at Eddie's Fun House. Eddie's Fun House is a fun house of the mind. We're talking about things in the northern Atlantic that are showing up. We're drinking our beverage of choice. Let's have a burping contest. Does Eddie Boy offends you? No, I like that. I was telling my mom about how you called me Eddie Boy. Eddie Boy! Things are finally coming together, Eddie Boy. We're going to be drinking champagne on a cruise ship. 1 o'clock? Oh, 1 kilometer. I think, yeah. I wonder what it is. Could it be the resurrection of Typhon? Typhon, or the Kraken. It could be the Kraken. Release the Kraken. Destroy Argos. 1,000 subs. Who's got 1,000 subs? I'm almost there. A few days ago, I was like, oh, yesterday I think it was 500, over 532 or something like that. I'm close. I'm inching forward. And then I'll be at the top. I'll be like a dog chasing a car, you know. Dogs chase cars, but then once the car stops, they don't know what to do. I'll say, what do I do now that I have 1,000 subs? It's like, well, I guess I need to start telling people about my channel. Then I'll go to 2,000 subs. Then I'll be one of those guys with that silver play button. I'll have to hold it up, you know, or put it on the wall behind me. It's like, oh, this Christmas Eve we're going to have tacos. My homemade tacos. I was thinking about ham, but I already got the beef out. I already pulled the beef out of the freezer. Because I buy these ham steaks, and they are delicious. Ham steaks with a... Sometimes they do. They always talk about the 7 deadly sins. I forget what show there was. There was a show that was supposed to represent each of the deadly sins. I think the 7 dwarves, like sloth and greed and anger, gluttony. Well, that show Seven, remember that show Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, I think? Yeah, that show Seven, it was representing each of the deadly sins. I guess Thanksgiving would be gluttony. Lobster, turkey bacon. Turkey bacon is pretty good. It doesn't shrivel up like the regular bacon. I notice when I cook turkey bacon, I still get big pieces of bacon. Oh, I'm okay. I'm suppressing my appetite. I'm keeping my appetite under control. I got my party mix here. That does make you hungry when you're thinking about delicious foods. And it's Sunday. Monday, everyone is going to be celebrating Christmas. Those who aren't working Monday. I think the only restaurant that's open on Christmas is Takai. We drive around on Christmas Day looking for places to eat, and Takai is this Japanese restaurant. They serve really good food. It's a bit pricey, but it's worth it. It's called Takai. They have stir fry. Yeah, you were saying that. Some countries don't. I know in Saudi Arabia they don't celebrate Christmas. In some, according to their religion, they don't celebrate Christmas. I guess I just grew up with it, It was my culture. Every culture has their holidays. Some it's Yom Kippur, some of it's Ramadan. But yeah, it's like, and then there's the ones like St. Patrick's Day. Because I'm Irish, I celebrate St. Patrick's Day. What other? Easter. Easter is another one. But they're mostly the Christian faith. All this talk about Christmas dinner. I think that would be, if you think about it. Do I carry? I do. My mother is German. I've got, yeah, I have some German ancestry. Mostly English and Scandinavian. So I guess isn't that cool? You never know who you're related to, what your lineage, what's in your makeup. I've had some friends that have like Japanese, Korean, and they have like Mongolian. A lot of Asian people have like that Mongolian background because of Genghis Khan. Oh yeah, Latin. There are a lot of Latin descendants. I think Italian is. I think all of us are. You never know who you're related to. Yeah, some people are like German and English, and some people are like Mexican American. I had a friend; he was part Mexican and part American, or part German and Mexican. And it's always interesting to visit homes, you know, what language they speak at home and what traditions they follow. Because the Greeks have this thing where they break dishes. They say ompa. They smash dishes. And then with the Jewish, they say mazel tov, and they step on like a glass cup or something like that. I've always been into Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Gerflungus. I think it's just going to be nice and quiet tonight. We have a bit of an overcast. Merry Gerflungus. Merry Gerflungus to you. Have a pretzel. It's a tiny little pretzel. I remember in the mall they had the pretzel shop. They made fresh pretzels. And the pretzels were as big as your hand. Those were pretty good. You had to watch your sodium though. I think they'd give you mustard or something like that. But it was a shop dedicated to making pretzels. And then next to it was 31 flavors. It was, I think, Baskin and Robbins. 31 flavors. I would always stop by there after I've eaten already. I would go to the 31 flavors and make a sundae or a banana split. Dairy Queen makes good banana splits. If you ever want to lavish yourself, go to Dairy Queen. They take a banana and they cut it right down the middle. And then they laden it with your favorite ice cream. Most of the time it's soft serve. I think that's the only thing they give at Dairy Queen is soft serve. I remember a deli that I'd go into, they had yogurt. You had different flavors of yogurt. And they would charge you for the topping. That was a good idea because sometimes the summers would get really hot and you go into the deli to get air conditioned, and then you have these yogurt dispensers and they weigh it. That's how they sell it. They'd sell by how much it weighed with the topping and everything. Sometimes it would cost a lot. They'd have like gummy fishes and M&Ms and crushed Oreos and things you could put on your frozen yogurt. I think frozen yogurt still is, I think that's still dairy. I'm not sure. It's funny, when I was a kid, nobody was allergic to dairy. Nobody was allergic to nuts. Now it's like people are allergic to dairy, or they have a resistance to dairy or something like that. And nut allergies. It's like, wow, it's a new thing to have some kind of ailment. How sad, because sometimes in my party mix there are nuts. You get your almonds, you get your pecans, you get macadamia nuts. We used to make necklaces out of macadamia nuts because they have really thick shells and you can buff them. That's what we were learning in crafts class. Take macadamia nuts and sand them and then buff them, and they would turn out real shiny. It's like a survival necklace. It's a necklace made of nuts. I remember it would take a long time to sand them to get to that, to polish off all of the, I guess they were like a fuzzy surface. In Hawaii, they have these necklaces called leis. The kids would get leis full of candy, and then the adults would get leis made of flowers. That's a beautiful culture. Something crazy happened to me today. Today I had an alternate universe experience. It was like my mother's reality and my reality had separated. Yesterday, nothing really weird happened yesterday. In fact, a lot of things came together yesterday. I had like, I was able to roast marshmallows yesterday because I got myself I found a Bunsen burner. I call it a Bunsen burner in the trunk of my car. And I lit it and I could actually see the flame. Yesterday, or the day before, I had a burner that I couldn't see the flame. So it was harder to roast the marshmallow. But it's weird when you get caught in one of those alternate universe situations. Because it's weird how our memories work sometimes. Sometimes we're sure that we remembered something or something happened to us, and then somebody else tells me, no, that's not the way it happened. Or I'll listen to my mom sometimes. My mother will recall a memory that clearly didn't happen. So I wonder if that's the case. She's experiencing an alternate universe that I'm not experiencing. People will do that. It's like I'll sit and listen to people recall a memory and I'll say, no, that didn't happen. I'll say it to myself because I don't want to, get into an argument. I remember that I listen to my brother sometimes and he'll tell a story and it's like, I don't remember that happening at all. I wonder if it's amnesia. They say hypnosis can cause amnesia. In fact, that's a way you can tell someone is truly hypnotized is by giving them amnesia. I've watched one hypnotist say, when I snap my fingers, you'll forget your name. And they'll say, I do. Isn't that weird? Why is that? Because you know each other most of your life, if not all of your life. And it's like, why get into a fight? I think it's because you know each other so well. You know, that's what could trigger an argument. When you know someone so well, like when they're not being truthful or when they're being stubborn, you know, that they're being stubborn, so it kind of makes you angry. I'll run into that with my family members. I'll say, man, why are you being so stubborn, Or why are you gaslighting, I like that term. Oh, well, thank you. Tell him I said hi. I was just talking about his trip to Ireland. That'd be cool if he posted stuff like that on his page, or I mean, on his channel. Here's what I did in Ireland. This is what I saw. This is my mom. This is my pet kitty cat. It's kind of like that relatability thing, I like that bonding. You get to know about people. Because I think it's easier to talk to and forgive strangers than it is to talk to and forgive your family members. Because people get set in their ways. People have habits that you don't like, or certain things they do that annoy. All right, well, good. Something you get to do with your dad. You get to talk about bye-bye. Baby, bye-bye-bye. Have a safe trip. That's what I like to do, is bid people a safe trip. Bon voyage. Have a good voyage. I bet you I could finish off a 2 liter. What's this? This is only 16 ounces. It usually says on the bottle how much. It doesn't say. This is probably a 16 ounce. And it's almost gone already. I can ingest a lot of Coca-Cola. Always Coca-Cola. I like how they were using polar bears to advertise Coca-Cola. They were very touching commercials. I noticed my neighbor has his sliding glass door open. He's probably listening also. Or maybe they can't hear. I'll just have to remember not to get so loud. I like it when my neighbors are quiet. Well, I guess that's what I can expect. I can expect short chats. Someone somewhere might be listening to this while they're folding their laundry, while they're doing their homework, while they're snuggling up on the couch with their special someone. I guess snuggling and cuddling are the same thing. Snuggling, you can snuggle and cuddle. I guess snuggling is when you have a warm blanket. When you wrap yourself in a blanket, you're snuggling. And when you're cuddling, you have some special someone. Close to you on the couch. I heard someone clear their throat. Maybe that's a signal. I do know that it's Sunday. And I do know that my neighbor has his sliding glass door open. See, it's got a little, a pecan, a piece of, a half of a pecan. I think that one fell accidentally. But we are outside. Outside we should be able to be a little loud. It's always nice sitting and watching the clouds blow by. You have the heavier dark clouds, and then you have the lighter cloud, the light-colored light clouds. The lighter clouds are higher up. It's almost like I'm on a beach. There are a lot of Czechs in this party mix. A lot of Cheez-Its, a lot of Bugles and Cheez-Its, and an occasional M&M. Oh look, it's a miracle. Two pretzels stuck together. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. I kept my promise, so keep your distance. Every time I see a balcony, I think of that. Every time I see a balcony, I think of Argentina. And the Queen, I guess it was the Queen, was standing on the balcony, talking to her people, or singing to them. I think Madonna made a movie called Argentina, or was in the movie. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. I kept my promise, so keep your distance. Eat a tiny pretzel and a football-shaped M&M. This one has peanuts in it. Wow, there are lots of Cheez-Its in here. I guess all of them are deadly sins. Deadly to yourself or someone else. Gluttony. Gluttony kind of harms other people and yourself. Anger can harm yourself and other people. Sloth. Sloth can do horrible things. I think Coke is my beer. Coke is my beer. Because I've seen people drink lots and lots of beer. They'll get like a 12-pack or a 6-pack and just down the whole 6-pack. And then do another trip to go get more. There's some shows about body language. Body language really interests me because there's a lot that gets revealed through body language, through micro expressions. You can listen to someone tell a story or ask someone questions, and their body language tells another story. Their facial expressions, their micro expressions. Micro expressions are like when everyone thinks they can control their facial expressions. Everyone thinks they can control their body language consciously, but there are a lot of things we do that are unconscious. There are a lot of things we do that we're not even thinking. We don't even think we're doing them, but our unconscious mind kicks in, like nervous twitches, eyes darting around the room, or a quick angry expression. Because again, that's not That's what our unconscious mind does. And our conscious mind, we think we can control a smile or a frown or a grimace or a scowl or whatever they call those. We think we think we're in conscious control of our facial expressions. But if somebody says something that makes us angry, or if we see somebody and because they say you can't fake a smile, you simply cannot fake a smile. And some people will fake smiles, like sociopaths, psychopaths. It's always fascinated me, you know. You can really read a person once you study all of these different things that we do unconsciously. When people say one thing and do another. I think it was Aristotle. He was talking about the three filters. Is it true? Is it good? Is it necessary? You know, these filters, when we tell each other things, when we divulge what someone else is talking about, you know, if someone says something about someone or about them, make sure it goes through those three filters. Is it true? Is it good? Is it necessary? Because one of his disciples wound up not telling him what he was going to tell him. Because first of all, let's go through the three filters. In case you haven't noticed, I really like the Greek history, the Greek culture, the mythos, the Greek myth. There we go. I need to go back to eating Cheez-Its one at a time. I'm dreading the fact that I'm almost out of Coke. I've been drinking the Coke and I realize that the bottle is 2/3 empty. And I'm not finished with my snack yet. That is a dilemma. When you're not quite finished with your snack, but you're almost finished with your drink. That's why you plan ahead. That's why you get a container with ice in it, and you get a 2-liter bottle of Coke, and you'll have endless Coke. I'm going to have to see if my neighbors will give me a signal if I'm too loud, if I'm being too obnoxious. They can tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. I'm thinking who? Tony Orlando had a song called Tie a Yellow Ribbon. I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. I probably butchered that song. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Tony Clifton sang that song. Tony Clifton. Tony Clifton always makes me laugh. I hope I'm relatable. I think guys are easy to get along with when they're relatable. Guys and gals. I really cherish these times when I'm sitting still, eating a snack, and you eating a snack on the other side of the screen. It makes you feel not so all alone. I always thought it would be cool to have a trap door. You know, like when, I think it was Death Wish, or one Chuck Norris movie, I think, where they just opened fire on his house, and he was in a trap door. He opened a trap door and went underground, and they just shot up his house, but they didn't get him because he was under the trap door. You know, like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, when they had that trap door in the cabin. People just, they think they're shooting you, but you're under. You open up the trap door and you crawl down in. There's like a basement or cellar. That's where the word butler came from, I heard. Because butler meant bottler. They used to say bottler or butler. And he was just a guy that went down into the wine cellar to get the bottles of wine. And then I guess the butler started doing more than just that. And then there's the valet, the guy who picks up your car after you're finished shopping or finished at a fancy restaurant. You hand the valet your ticket, and he goes and gets your car. And then you have to tip your valet. Sometimes you prepay. I noticed at a hospital I went to, they had a valet. I went with my mother to a hospital, or my mother went with me, and the hospital had you paid online with your phone, and then the valet would take your car and park it somewhere and bring it back when you were finished at the hospital. That's a good idea when you have the money. I think I've lost a lot of weight just snacking. That's what I've been doing recently, just skip lunch, eat a sensible breakfast, skip lunch, snack in the afternoon out of a little container like this, and then when it's dinner time, have a sensible dinner. I notice my rings still fit me. I noticed that there's not a lot of time now. People chat, but there's not a lot of time. Everyone has something they have to be doing. I notice the closer you get to cities, when you get to a city, things get faster. Things happen a lot faster, and there's a lot more going on. But the farther you are from a city, when you're in the country, things are slower. Things happen slower. There's a lot less going on when you're in the country. But it's interesting how things speed up. The more people there are, if you're in the suburbs, things are kind of relaxed in suburban, and urban. I think I'm in a suburban, not quite urban. Urban is when you have to drive to the store. Suburban is when you take a bus. Urban is when you have to take a bus, a train, and walk a while. It was funny, a joke I heard about how to know if you're rich, poor, or middle class. If you look at the building and your name is on the building, you're rich. If you look at the desk and your name is on the desk, you're middle class. If you look at your name and your name is on your shirt, you're poor. That's how you can tell if you're rich, poor, or middle class. So yeah, a lot of times my name has been on my shirt. I guess you are doing pretty well if your name is on the building, or if your name is on the desk. Let's see who's stopping by today. This kind of reminds me of when I worked at Kmart. I would hang around the register until someone came to my register, and that's when the conversation would start. There would be no talking until the person came to my register. Sometimes it would just be non-stop, depending on what time of the month it was, or if it was Christmas. There'd just be an endless river of people going by my register. And then there's the standing for hours and hours at your register, gaining weight. I remember I gained a lot of weight when I was working at Kmart. When I was working at Kmart, I was standing at the register in my red vest and white shirt, and my neck just kept getting fatter and fatter. My waistline kept getting larger and larger. I was told that by my coworkers when I first started working at Kmart. I was this slim. They said, "You look like a playa." And then I was no longer slim. And I guess something happened to me standing at that register, waiting for people to come by and being rung up at the register. You're not doing much physical work. You're just using letting your fingers do the walking. So maybe I'll get another like. Looks like somebody's joined me. I'm so happy when someone joins me. This is my therapy. I keep calling it my therapy. I look forward to this time every day. Every day. Well, it's Christmas Eve. I'm buzzing through my party mix. My favorite snack. Party mix. I hope I can put Top Secret in my movie library. I like that movie. Top Secret with Val Kilmer. I think that's the only big name star that was in that movie. It had a lot of weird humor. It was kind of like Airplane. There were a lot of movies like that. What was that movie? Naked Gun. Naked Gun 1, 2, and 3. I think there was a trilogy. Yeah, there was Airplane, Airplane 2, Naked Gun, and Top Secret. There's a lot of weird movies that are like that I enjoyed. And then there was Hot Shots, and Hot Shots Part 2. It was more like that too. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. It's a pretzel that looks like a storm drain. It looks like a drain to something. It's a grill pretzel. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweetie when I meet her in the morning. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweetie when I meet her in the morning. If you haven't seen Stormy Justice, please go to my community page. My community page has Stormy Justice. It's Tony Clifton playing a judge. It's very funny. And I also have Five Nights at Freddy's. There are a lot of people who are on YouTube not reviewing, but watching the movie and filming their reaction to Five Nights at Freddy's. That's why I knew about them, because it was a video game for a while. And I just remember that in the early 2000s, I'd see Five Nights at Freddy's and didn't know what it was about. And it turns out it's a video game, and they made a movie based on the video game. Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy in the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, I think he's Springtrap in the movie. And he's the same age as I am. He's in his 50s. And it's catching a lot of buzz. It's catching a lot of press. Five Nights at Freddy's. Now I have that song playing in my head. I hear the secrets that you keep. That was an 80s song. When you close your eyes and go to sleep. It's amazing how giant jets are and how jets can be airborne. Something as big as a football field or bigger can be airborne. I've been sitting here for an hour. And we're having snacks together. Tomorrow's going to be Christmas Day. Then Christmas Day will be yesterday. And then we'll be starting on a new year. We'll start chewing on a new year. I wonder how many people have their bell icon set for this show. They'll hit their the bell icon. You get an alert whenever I'm live. Wouldn't that be nice to get an alert every time I'm live so you don't miss? But then again, if you're at a friend's house or if you're busy shopping or something, or you're watching a ball game, you can always come back. You can always come back and view from beginning to the end. You'll have some entertainment and you'll be helping me out because I'll be getting lots of view time. And you can pause and come back. That's what I've noticed when I'm watching a live stream and I need to go to the bathroom or something, or let the dog out to go to the bathroom. I can always pause the podcast. I think that's what's happening is we're evolving past matter. It seems like matter rules everything. Matter rules what we think about, what we're experiencing. There's too much matter and not enough mind. Way too much matter. We depend way too much on matter. And what I understand is that we're always creating. We as co-creators of this universe, we're always co-creating. We're always creating something, and we just need to allow ourselves to create. Instead of thinking about the thing we don't want, instead of thinking about the thing, because this isn't just woo-woo, it's science. They speak of the spooky action at a distance. They speak of the observer effect. Molecules behave a certain way when a certain person enters the room. And it's like what we're thinking, feeling, and believing is what's our reality is a result of that. Our reality is a result of what we're thinking about, what we're really investing our energy into. Like whatever, however things happen in your life. They call it the, what is it? Neville Goddard calls it the living in the wish fulfilled. That's one. And also the law of assumption. When we assume, that is a great power also. When we assume that when we drive up to the ATM or walk up to the ATM, we're going to take money out of the ATM. That's assumption. We just assume that when we get into our car and turn the car over, back out of our driveway, and head down the road, that's all assumption. We just assume that that's going to happen. You know, when you stand up out of your chair and walk across the room, that's what you assume is going to happen. And a lot of times we're assuming that we're going to be sick today. We're assuming that we're going to be broke. And then it happens. It happens because, again, it's the observer effect. The law of assumption. We assume that when we buy a lottery ticket, that it's going to be a loser. Or we assume that when we eat too much, we're going to get fat. And I guess that's Facebook letting me know that I have a friend suggestion. You're back, okay. Well, thank you for coming back. Did everything go well with your dad? That's so cool when parents get along with their kids and when kids get along with their parents. That's always fun. Like when I do things with my brother, that's always time well spent. Time well spent. Oh, you brought your girlfriend. Well, tell her I said hi. So this is the mystery of Gerflungus. The mystery is when we initiate each other into Eddie's fun house. Eddie's fun house is a fun house of the mind, and it's a fun house. I'm trying to keep my voice low because my neighbor has his door open. You know, he has a right to do that. When you let in, I know it's sad, but you know what? You are chosen. I believe that all of my viewers are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. I've seen a lot of people come and go, you know. They chat, they might leave a like and chat for a while. It's the ones that come back. They are picked out of the group. They're not just another face in the crowd. And occasionally I scare cats. One time a guy had his cat in his lap, and I made the cat sound. I went like, meow, and the cat started looking around. So maybe I speak cat. I speak kitty cat. I think it was my flute. I was playing my flute and it scared the cat. I think I might start playing my jaw harp. It's the least I can do for my retained guests. Play my boing boing. I'm gonna play with my boing boing. It's pretty cool how many siblings I have. Two. I have two younger brothers, and they live here in Georgia, which is cool. One is like 3 hours away. Another one I'm going to be seeing tomorrow, which is fun. A Christmas Day get-together. He has we have a lot of get-togethers at his house. He likes to put this fire pit. He has a fire bowl or something like that he 15 children. Wow, that's stamina. It's almost like it should be an Olympic sport. You know, they're always thinking of new Olympic sports. And it's like, look, you're the fourth? Yeah. My brother was my brothers and I are like a month apart. We're like only 1 year apart. It's like my mom didn't get a lot of resting time. She needed some downtime, you know. I was told I was a big baby. They called me the quarterback. I forget how many ounces I was, but man, it was, they were saying, yeah, and I was a C-section also. So I wasn't a regular birth. I was that big of a baby. Yeah, triplets are a challenge. You got 3 people inside there. 3 people in a room for one. I think the uterus is only designed to carry 1 baby. And then all those ovums start pouring out. And then like 3 different, sometimes they split. You know, you have those, I forget how they called those. You have the twins where they're from 2 separate eggs. And then you have the twins where they're from the same egg. They're like congenital twins. I know. I was a big boy. It was funny how they named me the quarterback. That was my nickname. He stands 6'8". Wow. And people say I'm tall. My brother always tells me how I'm a big guy and a tall guy. And it's like, then there's people who are 6'8". Well, here it is, folks. Here's my key to happiness. Well, I'm honored that you brought somebody with you. That's so unexpected. Bring a friend. Bring a friend to Eddie's Fun House. And that'll get me, then you just hit the bell icon. That way you'll know when I'm live or not. It can be, because then whether you like it or not, there's competition, you know. You're competing. Because I noticed people want a big brother or they want a little brother until they get a little brother. They say, I want a little brother, I want a little sister. And then when they get them, they realize it's the competition is on. 9 boys and 6 girls. Oh, wow. So the boys outnumber the girls. Girls, I think, are more challenging. I've heard that there's more to their makeup. Because boys, it's like, hey, go fishing, go play in the yard. Girls have different needs and wants. I grew up with just brothers, so I never really knew what it was like to have a sister in the house. My mother was outnumbered. It's like my dad and my 3 brothers. It's like, good God. There's no break from masculinity, from testosterone. Oh, it's called a jaw harp. It's a jaw harp. It's a good hillbilly instrument. It's called a jaw harp, a Jew's harp. I don't like to say Jew's harp because I don't want to be racist or anti-Semitic. It's a Jew harp. You're playing a Jew harp. There's a lot of movies where, like Old West movies, they're playing this instrument. If you listen for it. I think Aerosmith reach their teens, become harder, hard. Yeah, I know, because their bodies are changing. Certain hormones kick in. And certain social structure. Because it's like, yeah, their breakups are a lot harder. Yeah. And then you kind of become your sister's protectors. You know, you don't let any bad people near your sisters. I noticed that even in children, the brother is kind of watchful. They're kind of making sure that their sister uh, is in a good environment. And it's kind of neat. They're like their natural, that instinct kicks in. The big brother is looking out. One time, a little boy saved his sister from a dog attack. I think I'll put that story on my community page. There was a little boy who saved his sister from a dog attack, and he got his face all chewed up. But it's like, it's interesting how they'll risk their lives. Oh yeah, that's kind of an honor. Some college college is like it's a real special rite of passage. It's a it's a special thing, because not everyone after high school can handle college. You have to be really dedicated, because it's like high school, you're being guided, but then in college, you're kind of guiding yourself. The classes are different. You got night classes, morning classes. I remember one of my classes was ceramics. It was a night class. I kind of hung around on campus until it was time for my ceramics class. In the morning, it was like math. That's all I remember was math, doing a lot of math problems. And then I would hang out at the cafeteria. They had a pretty nice cafeteria. And I worked in the cafeteria because I was making money. I was getting like free lunches or something like that. I remember that in high school also. There was like, I would I would work in the morning and I'd get a free lunch because I'd show up before school started and I'd start preparing the lunches, breaking the, cooking the meats and all that, and opening all the cans, uh, and then I got my free lunch. It was almost like job training. It was always job training. I remember that. In high school, we'd get paid so much to be the custodians of the school. During the summer, the school would be closed down, and we would show up, and we'd clean up the school and get it ready for the next year. Scraping gum off of desks and cleaning windows, moving around furniture. It's weird because you're seeing the school with nobody there, except for some older guys that are the janitors. They changed the name to custodians. We were doing custodial works. Just get the mop and the bucket. Most of the time they had us outside hoeing weeds. We had a hoe, and we would just start mowing down all the weeds in the yard and raking the football field. Our boss would get on a riding lawnmower and mow down the field, and then we would all have to go out there with rakes and rake up all the grass. I wonder how they did it when we weren't there. Yeah, cop is a job that I don't envy. Cops have a lot to deal with. They don't work. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. You know, no need to work. And then there's kinds of work. What kind of work do we do? That's one of my what's it called? My goals is to get paid to do something I like doing. There's only been a few jobs that I've had that I've liked doing. You know, being a cashier was pretty cool. Just stand at the cash register and ring people up, take their credit cards and their checks. Somebody got a fake check by me one time. It was a pretty good job too. This check that she handed to me, and it went through the reader too. There's a reader that the check has to go through to see if it's fake or not. And it even went through the reader, and I kind of got busted for it, you know. This isn't even a real bank. It's like, well, how come it went through the reader? I don't think anybody writes checks anymore. I noticed the senior citizens are the ones that get out their checkbooks. I used to dread that when I was a cashier. I would always dread when everything had to stop and she had to get out her checkbook and write a check and then make sure her account balances. And sometimes they would write the check for like $5 over because they wanted $5 or $10. And everybody's going, come on, lady, come on. You know, it's like everyone's got places to go and this lady just pulls out her checkbook. It's like, it's all over now. I was hoping to get to my car. Now we got to wait for this old lady to write a check. Some of my best customers were the senior citizens. They're the ones with the best sense of humor. And the kids too. I remember one girl, she was in the shopping cart, those little cedars. And I was feeling kind of low on Valentine's Day. And the little girl looked up and said, "Happy Valentine." And it made my day. So it's like the kids say the right thing at the right time. Happy Valentine. And it was like the Grinch, when his heart starts growing. So it's so nice to be outside again. My mom always likes to bring her dog. Today when we went to the grocery store, it's kind of funny because she's riding one of those handicap carts, and it has a big basket in the front. And she has this bed. She carries the bed, puts the dog inside the bed, and then puts it inside the cart. in the basket, and she rides around the store, and it's like our dog is a celebrity. Oh, what a cute little dog! And I think my mom kind of likes that attention. Oh, what's your dog's name? He's such a cute dog. What's his breed? She likes saying Bouchon. The breed of the dog is Bouchon. He's a Bouchon Dotson, and he was born in my living room. I've had him since he was a baby. You have a dog right now? Cool. That's what people should put on their channels, on their YouTube channels. Just put, "Aw." It's still a puppy, or it's like has it been with you for a while? They might as well be family members, you know. Shaggy's. I gave him a bath today. He was scratching, so we got this flea and tick shampoo. He's a puppy. Oh. My mom's friend has a little puppy. He's a Chihuahua Pekingese. He looks like a Chihuahua that hit a wall. It's real friendly. It's still a puppy too. Puppies just want to know everybody. The older they get, the more lazy they get. Except for my dog. My dog still has that puppy energy. He's an old dog, but he acts like a puppy. Well, I'm thankful that you're here on this Christmas Eve. I wonder what the weather's going to do. It's almost like a hurricane's starting to brew. I see all these clouds gathering. We got clouds, we got wind. Next thing you know, we'll be in the land of Oz. I was singing that song when I was washing my dog today. Rub, rub here, rub, rub there, a couple of fa-la-las. That's how we left the day away in the very old land of Oz. My dog is pretty good about getting a bath. He knows the bath is coming. I think he likes the warm water, the warm soapy water, and then he's going to be clean. Because sometimes we let that dog get dirty, and it's like, that's not right. We can take a shower at will, but dogs can't. Dogs aren't like cats that always clean themselves all the time. I hear even cats need a bath. I see videos of people washing their cats. It's like the cat's hating every minute of it. I think cats instinctually don't like water to begin with. Then they just lift the cat up and put it in the sink and they start spraying the cat. And the cat looks like you're trying to kill it. And they're always so fascinated with things that move. Cats always want to check out what it is that's moving and how quickly they can gain control over it. Like little mice. Cats like to torture mice, I've noticed. Some of them I think are colorblind. I think I had a cat that was colorblind because I'd use the laser pointer. And I know cats always freak out when they see a laser pointer. When they see that little dot running, moving around on the wall. My cat is like, and catnip. I think she was immune to catnip. Not a lot of every cat responds to catnip. But my cat, I think she had something wrong with her scent glands. And I just thought, wow, I'm going to get some catnip and see what she does. It's like, all right, see ya. Thank you for joining me, listening to me ramble on about cats and dogs, playing my jaw harp. This is our mini Jumbotron. We're working with the mini Jumbotron. Let's see who kisses who. All right. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. I'll I'll see if I can go for another personal best today. Yesterday I almost did 3 hours. I think that's the most I've ever done. It's 3 hours, close to 3 hours. My power pack is still good. All right. Time to eat some more Cheez-Its. Reminds me of Starship Trooper. Something is going to happen in Buenos Aires. It's going to be a quiet Christmas Eve. I still have some Coca-Cola left. I'm seeing a little tiny orange bug. A very tiny orange bug. It looks like a little spider. I've never seen an orange spider. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. I wonder if it's going to rain again. I remember one time it started raining. It started raining right during my live stream. It started to rain. It's done that a couple of times. Peanut butter M&Ms. Peanut butter M&M. Mmm. Yep, it sounds like feels like it's going to rain. When the wind blows, you can feel the rain. You can feel the barometric pressure. I guess the precipitation, the moisture, the condensation starting to accumulate. The clouds are moving kind of fast too. Looks like the Pirates of the Caribbean. You come back a different person when you go to Disneyland. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mommy. I get so happy when I see a peanut butter M&M. Peanut butter M&M. I hope in my next lifetime I get to keep all of my teeth. I want to have all of my teeth. That's what's deceiving about your teeth. You can go months, if not years, without having any cavities. And you say, I can skip brushing. I'm not seeing any cavities. It always starts with that one cavity. Then before you know it, your mouth is overtaken. And it's all because you didn't brush your teeth. All because you didn't go in for your regular cleanings. But not all of us have that luxury. We don't always have that luxury of going to get our teeth cleaned. But we can at least brush our teeth. Brush and floss. Peroxide. If I swish peroxide, I've noticed that kills a lot of germs. They say peroxide is better than penicillin because it eats through the membrane of the bacteria. I guess bacteria has a membrane, and the peroxide dissolves their protective cover, I guess. I've noticed that whenever I have a toothache or a sore throat, if I swish peroxide, the peroxide kills whatever bacteria is causing the sore throat. Or a toothache. A toothache is a buildup of of pus around a nerve, your teeth nerve. I guess I'll sit out here until it rains. But that sucks when you have to rush inside. You have to make a mad dash for the house. What I like about this Coke bottle, it says, I am 100% recycled. I am a 100% recycled bottle. So this does not wind up in the ocean. This does not wind up in the landfills. I've seen a lot of clever ways that people make mouse traps out of Coke bottles. I made a hummingbird feeder once out of a Coke bottle, a bendy straw and a 1/4-inch drill. And you take the 1/4-inch drill and you drill it right in the middle of this triangle. 1/4-inch drill in the middle of this triangle, and you can slide the bendy straw in. Somebody's ordered Amazon Prime. That truck has been parked here for a while. It's always kind of creepy. When you see a truck parked for a little too long, it has pretty lights on it though. I noticed my female audience isn't that big. I don't have a big female audience. When I look at my analytics, I think they're called analysts. In the analysts, when it tells you how many viewers are male, how many viewers are female, how many viewers are from which country, I have mostly US, Canada, and UK. That's what I mostly have as far as viewers and subscribers, I guess. America, yeah, United States, UK, and Canada. And some people from Australia are seeing my videos. I've noticed when I look at some of my shorts, it tells you what country, which country your viewer came from. Some of them are from Australia. All right. Have a safe trip. That is the most active woman. One of the most active women I know is my mother. She's always going somewhere. She's always going to her friend's house, going shopping, coming back with bags and bags. Now my mom has to wait for the Amazon Prime truck. The Amazon Prime truck has been parked there. He's got so many deliveries today for, yeah. Merry Christmas to you. That poor guy's got a lot of deliveries today. And it's Christmas Eve. Should be drinking hot apple cider. Should be munchy munching on your snacks. I always used to dread that, having to work on a holiday. The only time you're justified being away from work, you are justified when it's Christmas Day or New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. Well, that's something I could talk to my mom about. Mommy, somebody brought their girlfriend. Somebody not only came back, but they came back with their girlfriend. It's kind of like meeting the family, you know, when you're not ashamed of your girlfriend, you know, when you're not ashamed of your boyfriend, you show your parents, you know, you introduce your girlfriend to your parents. When you're proud of your girlfriend, when you're proud of your boyfriend, you then introduce them to your parents. I've noticed that in social situations, like in the hunter-gatherer days, if a woman trusted you, she would show you where her berries were. She would show you where she gathered her grain and berries and things like that. And that's what I always like. You know, when somebody walks up to me and shows me pictures on their cell phone, they show pictures of their dog or they show pictures of their baby or whatever, and it's like that's such a show of trust, you know. And I remember that they talked about that in the hunter-gatherer days. You know, if a woman trusted you and liked you, she would show you things, you know, like how she kept her home or where she goes to get berries, where she goes to get nuts and things like that, you know. And I've noticed that in the animal kingdom too. You know, when I was this maintenance guy, oh, there went the Coke bottle. When I would go to do a work order, I would enter the apartment and the kitty cat would let me pet her, you know, or the kitty cat would let me pet him, or the dog would come up and sniff me and then start treating me like I was a member of the family, you know, or the greatest honor to me was when the dog would bring me their toy, you know, to show me their toy. And it was like, you're a pretty cool guy, I'll let you see my toy. Because if they don't trust you, they won't show you things, you know. So that's another social behavior, you know. Or when someone looks at things on my phone, you know, if a girl comes up and she's standing kind of close to me, they call that an IOI, an indicator of interest. I'm sure you've read about or seen videos about IOIs. If a girl likes you, she'll I think I call it primming or printing. They'll twirl their hair, they'll adjust their necklace, you know, they get themselves adjusted so they look good for you. Or if you see them wearing makeup or if you smell perfume, it's almost like they're getting ready for subconsciously for a date with you. Or when they touch you, they always, if they like you, they look for an excuse to touch you all the time, or laugh at every joke. You know, if you find her, wow, sounds like a drag race. We're having a drag race. A lot of that stuff they don't teach you in high school. They don't teach you that in school. Social indicators, you know. If somebody faces you while they're talking to you, that means they like you. You know, if somebody mirrors you, they call it mirroring. Like if you're sitting like this, they'll sit like this. Or when you go to take a cup or a drink from your coffee cup, they'll also take a drink from their coffee cup. They'll start mirroring you if they like you. You probably already know this. Many are called, but few are chosen. That's what it's like in Eddie's Funhouse. And always remember, Eddie's Funhouse is a fun house of the mind. I think it's going to rain. I'm going to have to close. I'm going to have to go like an hour and 46 minutes. They left me with one like. I'll finish up my snacks. I just have a handful here. I could just probably dump them in my mouth. We'll keep chilling out until I'm done with my M&Ms. But yeah, that wind is picking up and I can feel the moisture in the air. We need a little Christmas right this very minute. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings to you and your kin. Good tidings to Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy. Bring us some frickin' pudding. That sounds like a threat. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. They say it 3 times. We won't go until we get some, so bring it right now. That would be scary. That sounds like a hostage situation. Bring us some figgy pudding. Bring it right now. We won't go until we get some. Yummy. Yummy party mix. Well, let me see if I can... Oh, it's backwards. That's why the lid won't go on. It's an IQ test. And it's upside down. Not only is it backwards, it's upside down. That's why. That's why I'm struggling. But you know what? It takes intelligence to figure that out. You have to... I figured out that it was backwards and upside down. That's why it wasn't closing. That's the difference between intelligence and lack of intelligence. When you're doing something wrong and you don't figure out that you're doing something wrong, I just want to show this one more time. Wow, that's a strong snap. This is my Cahoga Ninja. Cahoga Ninja. throwing star. It's one of my little charms. One of my lucky charms. I like throwing these. When I was a kid, I loved anything that you can throw and make stick, like a dart or an arrow or throwing knives. All right. Okay, we're going to go inside because the clouds are building up and I feel the moisture in the air. Let me unplug. I'm going to unplug for now. It's criminal. There ought to be a law.